Welcome everybody. Going to be talking about Shedinja. If you're curious about Ninjask at all, even in the slightest bit, definitely go check that video out. It's a little bit on the longer side, but that's part of the course for me. It's a really cool video, and Ninjask's changes are super awesome, and I really like Ninjask. I love Shedinja too. I love this whole line. The whole line is awesome. So check them out as well. But I will not be talking about Ninjask in this video, just purely Shedinja. So Shedinja. It is no longer the only Wonder Guard Pokemon. Unknown actually has Wonder Guard in his hack. If you want to find more information about that, go check out the Unknown video, or also feel free to check the Google Sheet in the description down below. I implore you to do that, actually, if this interests you even in the slightest. There is a very detailed guide to literally all of the changes in this hack, and it's all laid out for you really nicely. There's all these moves. All the moves in this hack are buffed or changed in some regard. There is 25 custom new abilities and all this other great cool shit. So 130 plus custom new moves, and every other move has changed basically, so definitely check that out. But if you're new here, that's for you. If you're returning, then I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I'm sure you're hopefully used to the introductory stuff by now. But yeah, Shedinja's here. So yeah, it's no longer unique in that it has Wonder Guard. In fact, so basically the main difference between Unknown and Shedinja is that Shedinja has a much better special attack stat and an actual move pool. While Unknown has three less weaknesses. No, two less weaknesses, yeah. Unknown is weak to Bug, Dark, and Ghost. Shedinja is weak to Flying, Rock, Fire, Dark, and Ghost. Did you notice anything there? It's important, okay? Dark and Ghost moves hit both of the Wonder Guard Pokemon in the hack. That is something that will leave you very... Like, for example, if the other Wonder Guard Pokemon was something that didn't overlap in weaknesses with Shedinja, it would be kind of fucking insane, because you could just run both of them and then counter like everything in the game. But the good thing is, both of the Wonder Guard Pokemon are weak to actually not just one. They don't share just one weakness; they share two weaknesses. And basically every Pokemon in the entire goddamn hack gets at least one Bug or Ghost type move for coverage. I think there is not a single Pokemon that doesn't get one. I actually do not think there's a single one, because there's a lot of TMs and stuff now. So basically Shadow Punch is on a lot of physical mons that has 80 base power, and then Ominous Wind, Shadow Ball, and all that stuff is on a lot of special mons, of course. Not to mention, if you for some reason can't touch them, you can always just run Natural Gift. And Natural Gift is a one-time base power move that becomes a special one-time base power move that becomes any type in the game. Only once though, of course, but that's a great option too. So you will always be able to kill Shedinja. Also, you can use Hail, Sand, or the Will-O-Wisp or Toxic. Toxic no longer being a TM, but Acid Reflux is actually a way to kill, and T-Spikes. So those are both. Acid Reflux being a tutor move which poisons and drops Spit F by 4. So those are all good options, and T-Spikes is a TM now. So you will always have a way to deal with Shedinja if you're prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it, then yikes, not a good thing. So basically Shedinja is still kind of butt in the hands of the AI, because if you're doing preparation, you can always just counter it, and if you're not doing prep and you wipe to it, then it's like, whatever, you're not doing a Nuzlocke, because you should be doing a prep if you're doing a Nuzlocke. You're not doing a Nuzlocke, just fight it again, and you know he has a Shedinja this time, and just kill them. So it's like you wipe once and then it's whatever. I could definitely come up with something kind of clever with like a trainer to use it to a good extent, but like overall it's still it's a one-trick pony, okay? But for the player, it is fucking incredible, okay? So Shedinja functions a lot differently. Actually, you should have probably addressed this first, because this is probably the thing that's going to irk people. Number one, the coverage move pool it has, which is insane, and number two, it's a special attacker now. Hopefully people are actually cool with that. I think it's way cooler and also way more logical, because Shedinja, unlike Ninjask, doesn't have any like bladey hand parts to like slash with. Like, he's just a fucking shell. Those aren't even arms. Like, those arms cannot come out. He doesn't move. All Shedinja does is float and shoot beams from its halo. Okay, I'll literally show you. Like, okay, look, Shedinja GIF. Like, if you look up like a Shedinja GIF, however you want to say it, he just shoots beams. Like, that's what he does. That's all he can do. He technically learns like cut moves from Ninkata now, but other than that, he doesn't get any physical moves. He only learns those from Ninkata, and you're not going to run them because he only has 30 base attack now, which makes much more sense. And as for his special attack, I think it's kind of soulful. Also, the base stat total is uneven, and that might bother people, but I think it's funny because it's the same base. It's the same as his national dex number. So, fun fact: both of the Wonder Guard Pokemon in the hack have the same base stat totals as their dex number. Unknown is 201, and then Shedinja is 292, so that's pretty cool. Also, they have really cool, like, cute little stats. Like, for example, his special attack is 3 1s, 1 1 1. and his HP is 1. So it's like, ha ha ha. You know, this defense, I just made a spread F equal to defense just for aesthetic purposes. And then the other important stat, the only two stats that matter is special attack and speed. Speed is not that good, but it is pretty solid. It's 60, which sounds kind of mid, but then you have stuff like agility and Z Spectrify to boost your speed. Z Spectrify will get, and also probably a couple other Z moves I'm forgetting, but the major ones are agility in general just gives +2 speed, and that's reteachable. While Z Spectrify comes from Trick or Treat, so it'll turn the opponent, it'll add ghost type to the opponent's type, but the Z effect now will give you +1 to all your stats. So what that means is Shedinja will get +1. The only stats that actually matter is special attack and speed. So you'll basically be getting like a quiver dance boost essentially, which is good. Okay. 60 base speed at +1 is not that great. However, Shedinja's most important stuff here is his new priority moves. So he has dual stat priority. Basically, every Pokemon gets dual stat priority in this hack. You can see where they match up with the base 60s and everything, by the way. But at +1 speed, he's pretty quick with speed investment. Obviously, without speed investment, it's not that good. But with prep, you know, because obviously there's no trainers, like, it's not like competitive where you have to worry about other scarfers and shit. So at +1 speed with a plus nature and max investment, you are at 240 at +1. You're at 360 speed, which outspeeds base 110 Pokemon, I believe. Yeah, 115? Okay, so 114 speed, roughly. You outspeed base 114 speed Pokemon with a +1 speed. After a Z Spectrify, you outspeed base 114 base speed. As for agility, you outspeed like everything with max speed investment because of the way that the trainer battles will work. Like, they're not going to run Scarfers or anything, so you'll outspeed basically everything after agility, which is great. The AI can switch now, so you can't just free set up and win every battle with Nasty Plot. Not to mention Nasty Plot only has 1 PP anyways now, and he does get Nasty Plot, yes. And I will cover why I gave it all these coverage moves and shit too. Don't worry. But the main reason is just because he's a fucking ghost. So why not? All the other ghost types get literally. I actually got an argument with friends about it because I would call it an argument, but I'm a little bit more transparent than usual today. I got some shit going on, so I kind of just don't care. So I'm being a little less like, oh, professional ROM hacker dudes. I'm just fucking talking. But yeah, I was like arguing with him about whether or not he should get electric moves or not. And we realized like literally every ghost type has an electric move of some kind. Like every ghost type learns Shockwave. Most of them learn Thunderbolt, that kind of thing. So I think giving it to him makes total sense. So he has coverage for all. He has all elemental coverage. Okay, he has Aura Sphere, Energy Ball, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Charge Beam, Shockwave. Shockwave was priority now. So he has Shockwave, and then I was back on topic actually. I was talking about priority. So you have Shockwave for priority via Tutor, which is +2 priority, 55 base power, and then Spook and Silvergale are regular priority moves, so they're +1 priority. But they're really good. Spook is 50 base power, Silvergale is 50 base power. So you have two 50 base power ghost type priority moves. Actually, Spook might be 45. Spook is 45, I'm pretty sure, actually, excuse me. But I'm too lazy to check right now, but it doesn't matter that much, okay? It's really good priority regardless. And that works great with Nasty Plot, okay? Nasty Plot, Spook, Silvergale, that's already like, that's literally, you could just run that the entire game. And like Will-O-Wisp coverage slot or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter, you know? So you can set up on a mon that can't touch you, and then when they switch out, you'll have the boost to kill the mon that can touch you. For example, a ghost type. You Nasty Plot, they switch out into their ghost type, you spook them and they're dead. Most likely. I mean, maybe they'll live it, but like, you know, in most cases, they'd probably just die to a +2 invested spook with like a boosting item or of some kind. Obviously not Life Orb, but you know, like a spell tag or something or whatever would get the job done. So yeah, it's great. Okay, or Silvergale, you know, with silver powder, whatever. Okay, obviously Life Orb is bad, and Specs means you can't set up, but Specs is also good, you know, for certain situations. But yeah, it's a great mod. Okay, tons of awesome coverage, good utility. It's literally just you can win entire battles. I will be making sure that at least every battle, basically, because of Unknown, I will make sure that every trainer battle has at least one Pokemon with one Dark or Ghost type move, which is not a hard thing to do at all. In fact, it might just happen naturally without me even having really do anything about it. Other cool things Shedinja can do, by the way, and that's not to say that like every fight will beat Shedinja. It's one Pokemon, okay? Let's say one Pokemon the entire team can touch you. You know what you could do? You could just bait the AI. You know, you fucking pardon my French, but you're Bug Ghost, okay? So you're weak to a lot of stuff. Yeah, 5 types, I believe. Yeah, 5 types. So, you know, say the opponent has a Pokemon with Flamethrower or whatever, okay? You send in your Pokemon that's weak to fire. The AI sends in the Pokemon Flamethrower. You switch out, and Jesus Christ. Sorry, everybody. All right, sorry, everybody. Sorry, somebody messaged me. Hopefully that didn't show up on the recording. But damn it, I lost my train of thought now. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. No, wait. God damn it, man. Unhinged dues today, y'all. You're getting unhinged dues because Yeah, I got some shit. I went through some shit yesterday. Everything's fine though, so don't worry about it. I'm just, yeah, a bit. My mind is a bit like not focused as usual. I said that in the Ninja's video as well, but and it's not like I don't want to record. Like I love doing this. It's just, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with a little bit of rambling more than usual. I really lost my train of thought. That sucks. I was probably making a good point. Oh yeah. Well, okay. You know what? I was talking about the prep and all that shit, but oh yeah, you can bait. So yeah, you can bait a fire move, okay, or bait any move that you're weak to. If that's the only Pokemon on their team that can hit you, not really the case for Shedinja. Most things will be able to hit you. However, if there's even one instance of them not being able to hit you, you instantly wall it. And I'm not familiar with how the AI works exactly. I don't know if they'll instantly switch out. I don't think so, even with max AI settings. I think they'll wait a few turns to switch out. I'm pretty sure they'll at least try to hit you once. They might hit you once, and then once Wonder God activates, then they might switch out. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Not positive. Don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure that's how it works. So at the very least, you can still get up a guaranteed Nasty Plot, or a guaranteed Little Whisper, or a guaranteed T-Spike, or, you know, a guaranteed Dual Screen, or whatever, or a screen, or Parting Shot out. That's another great thing you could do, is a free Parting Shot. You know, you switch in. Another thing is it's a free switch in to like a billion fucking moves. 13 types of the 15, 18 types in the game you are completely immune to. You switch it in, you take 0 damage. It's a great pivot. Then you Parting Shot out when they switch out. Perfect pivot, literally like one of the best pivots in the game alongside like Wild Pivot and shit. All right, it's a great Pokemon in game. It gets a lot of shit, but it's a great mon in game. Really, you just have to be careful with it. It can literally win entire battles for free, and at the very least, you can get. If you're playing your cards right, you can guarantee Shedinja literally never dies. If you got it in a Nuzlocke, if you're smart, it will literally never die, ever. If you're smart, because if it dies, then you did something wrong, clearly, or you're doing it on purpose, in which case you're a bad trainer, and I am frowning upon you. Never use Destiny Bond in a Nuzlocke, or else you're I don't know, blacklisted from downloading this. Yeah, I need to shut up, man. Hopefully you guys appreciate this. I'm just in a silly, goofy mood, you know. Fuck, man. Yeah, so good coverage. Okay, all kinds of awesome coverage moves here. You know, Dazzling Gleam, Moonblast, Burning Malice, fucking Aura Sphere. You can check out what all these do in the description down below, by the way. I don't know if I said this in this video, but I said it in Ninja's video. You can check the description down below. There is a detailed list of all of the changes in the Google Sheet down below. All of the moves in the hack are changed or buffed in some regard. There's like 5 moves that aren't, so just assume every move is. I would just go into this thinking, okay, every move is different. I got to check out everything somewhat. Some of them are obviously minor buffs or minor changes, but a lot of them are pretty massive reworks or flat out new moves. There's 130 literal new moves in this hack, so that's pretty sick. Yeah, so check out all that stuff, but yeah, just great coverage all around. You can hit anything super effectively for the pretty much everything. Yeah, no, literally everything. Besides Pokemon with no weaknesses, I guess technically, which there are a couple in this hack. Yeah, just good utility. That Nasty Pot is free as hell. Other funny, cool things you can do. So Pain Split via Tutor. It's just Super Fang. It's not that good, but it is good versus totems. Another thing is Shedinja can just completely win versus some totems. I'll probably have at least an ally that can touch you, so it's not free, and most of them will have Protect, so they can protect and then call the ally that can hit you. But for Unknown, I'll probably have at least one ally that can hit both Unknown and Shedinja, but like it's only one of the 2 allies most likely. So if you can guarantee that it calls a certain ally, then you can just win. If you keep the ally on the field and the totem also can't touch you, then you just win. You flat out win if they don't have some other way to hit you, and that's great. You also have Screech from Ninkata. Screech is fucking amazing versus totems that they can't touch you. If you secret tech to summon the right ally, which is possible because allies are actually not random. They come from a certain HP range usually, so you can actually guarantee that a certain ally will come out. So if you're smart with it, you can just Screech 6 times, switch out, and then fucking win. Okay, it's very technical, but it's a very, very rewarding mon. Pain Split is again just Super Fang, which is pretty good for early game for totems and shit. It's not bad or anything. It's just not that great. It's just Super Fang. Okay, in terms of how it functions, it has their HP each time. That's how Pain Split works with Shedinja. I don't know why I didn't give it to it. Honestly, it's not that broken. I don't know what they were. Did they think it would be broken? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Super Fang. But I watched a YouTube video to make sure I'm not crazy. I could test it in game, but I trust Showdown enough to believe that it just has HP. Recycle is very fun though. Recycle's fucking hilarious. Recycle plus Recycle's a priority move now. Okay, so that's a buff to Recycle because it's a really niche move. So it being a tutor move that's reteachable infinitely for 1 PP, all these tutor moves are 1 PP. So you could just teach that whenever the hell you want. So yes, it's situational, but in the situation, it's great. You could just run like Recycle Sash or something with like T-Spike. T-Spike twice, recycle, focus sash, win every battle, assuming that they have every Pokemon that's hit by T-Spikes. Obviously, it's a meme, but you can totally do that. Or you can T-Spike with another Mon, which is probably a little bit better. You know, T-Spike with another Mon, parting Shed into your fucking Shedinja, or you turn into your Shedinja, whatever. Or eject button into your Shedinja, infinite use eject button. And now you just recycle, focus sash the whole battle, assuming that everything on their team is affected by T-Spikes, you win the game. And they have no way, they don't have Will-O-Wisp or Toxic or anything. It won't work for every fight, but it can totally work in some fights, and that's really funny to me. Again, Shedinja, if you get it, I designed this hack with Nuzlocke in mind, so if you want to go catch all the cheese mons and use them and just win the hack that way, go ahead and do it. It'll be fun. But I designed it with hardcore Nuzlocke in mind, so there's only a decent chance you get a Shedinja, and an even more decent chance that you're skilled enough to use it properly, or that you care enough to use it properly. Some people just want to use Unga Bunga Mons, and that's totally fair. I understand, but this mon is fun as hell to use. Ninjask is also sick. Check that video out if you haven't, or just look at the Google Sheet and look at the changes yourself. That's also a very good thing that you can do instead of listening to me talk for 30 minutes straight. But I'm assuming if you listen this far, you like that kind of stuff. So no judgment. I love that kind of stuff too. I love long form videos. Yeah. What else is there? It's good stab moves, all right? All these stab moves are buffed. Shadow Ball's 85, Bug Buzz is 95, Bug Bomber is bug type, special surging strikes. All this stuff is buffed and changed. Just check it out in the description. I'm not going to waste time covering every little move buff and change. I'm only going to touch on the relevant ones that are like very relevant to Shedinja in this case. So like Volt Switch is great. Parting Shot is incredible. Parting Shot is so good, man. Taunt is great. Dual Screens is great on it. All this coverage, it's just so good. Such a fun mon. That's really about it, okay? Z-Spectrify already covered. Another cool thing with Z-Spectrify is you can then use Stored Power, which is buffed in this hack to give +1 special attack, but it's nerfed to 3 PP, so it's both a buff and a nerf. Overall, it's a buff, in my opinion. But the only reason I nerfed it is so you can't sweep entire boss fights. Like, you can't 6-0 people with Stored Power. You can only 3-0 them. Or not 3-0, but you can only kill 3 Pokemon at most. However, you do get a +1 special attack boost each time. So after a Z-Spectrify, you're at 120 base power, stored power, non-stab, and then you get 140 base power +2 special attack, and then 160 base power +3, and then etc. and so on until you run out of stored powers. So that's a great option. You could also do that with like agility if you wanted to, and literally sweep. I mean, it's up to you. Spectrify plus agility, whatever you want to do. Nasty Plot plus agility, double dance is great. Say for example the AI doesn't switch out right away. You agility. They hit you, you Nasty Plot, now you're +2/+2, then they switch out on the Nasty Plot turn, now you win the fight. Now you have 2 coverage move slots. Hopefully you can think of 2 coverage moves that hit everything the opponent has, and you win. Obviously, if they don't have priority or something to hit you, or sand or hail or whatever, but hopefully you get the idea, okay? You got to be careful, but it's still an incredible Pokemon. Now, it also has other utility like Hypnosis, which is 80% accurate, and sleeps for guaranteed 2 turns. So if you're slower than the opponent, you get 2 turns. If you're faster, you get 1 turn, and then the second turn they'll be waking up. However, you would be faster, so it's still 2 turns of setup. But if you're slower, you can get a Nasty Plot up on that free turn. For example, Focus Sash, Hypnosis. 80% chance you land it. If you land it, then you can use Nasty Plot, and you can win. Theoretically. In theory. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder to do that. There's a lot of anti-setup stuff in this hack. Priority Whirlwind, which is 1 PP, Priority Roar, which is 1 PP, all this other stuff that the AI will have to combat sweeping a little bit. But there's definitely going to be at least a good dozens battles that you can just flat out win if you're smart with Shedinja, and that's awesome. All right, no other Pokemon besides maybe Unknown can do that. However, the difference between Unknown and Shedinja, I didn't talk about that earlier enough. Unknown has moves, but not that many. Okay, you can watch the video. It's also a lot weaker. Basically, pros for Unknown. Only 3 weaknesses, and it's faster. Cons, significantly weaker, and very limited coverage. However, it does have HE4 switch turns at any type. You could check out that video. I'm not going to talk about Unknown, okay? This is not an Unknown video. Check the Unknown video out if this interests you. It's a very, very cool and sick changes. I love it, but Shedinja is still the OG Wonder Guard guy, so I figured, don't want to be outclassed by fucking Unknown. Unknown is sick too, but Shedinja is not the better Wonder Guard user because you can still argue Unknown is better, but they're both great, okay? They're different Pokemon. Shedinja's straight up offensive, you can really use great offensive sets or utility sets, while Unknown is a lot more limited, but it's still good. So, yeah. Other good stuff, I mean, you just got great coverage. Heal Block is good because it lasts 15 turns now, so you can use that to shut down totems that heal. That's really good for totems. Z Mindward is awesome. Z Mindward will give you +3 special attack, so it's better than Nasty Plot in that regard. So Z Mindward is sick, and then what you can do is then you can click Infernal Parade, which is the name, literally it's only taken from PLA in terms of name. That's the only thing I took, because otherwise it's very different. I mean, it's somewhat similar, but basically it's 130 base power, 70% accurate, and always burns. So it's essentially Ghost type Inferno, and then there's Inferno, and there's a couple other moves that do the same thing. And those are the only moves with 70% accuracy in the hack, by the way. Everything else is 80% or above. And even the 80% accurate moves are limited, but this is not a video about that. I should shut up. I'm sorry. I'm very unfocused. Yeah, Infernal Parade's sick. All right, Mind Reader, Z Mind Reader plus your special attack. You can also just click Z Mind Reader and then click Spook and Silvergale and kill like everything. Bug Ghost is also very, very, very good dual stab. It's very underrated because there's no actual Bug Ghost types besides Shedinja in the real games, and you know Shedinja's not great in real games, but at least in competitive. And in competitive, this would be kind of but it would still be pretty fucking good. But in the ridiculousness, that would be a quote-unquote meta. I wouldn't even call it a meta. I would call it a fucking shit show. But if there ever is a showdown server that is made for this, but it's not intended for that. Obviously, this is intended for in-game stuff and like Nuzlocke and stuff, not for competitive use. But yeah, point is plus 2 special attack. Bug Ghost is great dual stab. Okay, only 2 types resist or are immune to Ghost. It's Dark, which Bug hits effectively, and Normal, which Bug hits neutrally. You also have Fighting type coverage if you really want to hit that Dark type if you really need. Sorry, that Normal type if you need to hit them. But again, Spook, Silvergale, perfect. Chef's Kiss, priority moves. All right, you literally can just click those 2 moves with plus 2 special attack and kill most things with a boosting item. And if you have a good nature or something, because 111 special attack is great. 111 base, it's not the craziest thing in this hack. It's not that strong really. There's a lot of really powerful ones in this hack, but it's still very good. And it's very fitting for a Pokemon that literally steals your fucking soul if you look into its back. I think this extremely strange ghost with this giant beam, halo beam that shoots laser beams and shit can have 111 special attack. That's another thing. Spectral Beam is great. Spectral Beam is a 150 base power move that's Ghost type and it drops special attack stat by 2. There is dozens of new moves that do that same effect, such as Hyper Beam, Giga Impact, etc. if you're new here. So check those out in the description down below. There's detailed guides to all of this in the move sheet down below. You can check all this stuff out. There's priority moves, moves that do that, dropping your stats effect, moves that work like close combat, moves that are recoil. There's tons of awesome new shit. So definitely check that out. Yeah, it's just super awesome. I really love Shedinja and Jask and all, and even Ninkeda's awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I don't know if there's too much else to talk about really. Most of the moves you get from Ninkeda are kind of useless, besides like maybe Mud Fling for coverage. Screech is very good. Spikes is not good in game. Spikes is literally only there for flavor. You would never use Spikes. Stealth Rock is the only time you would ever use Spikes in game is if you need to break a Focus Sash and you're doing a team locked Nuzlocke and nothing on your team can ruin Stealth Rock via Tutor. Because it's objectively better for breaking sashes because nothing is immune to rocks besides Magic Guard Mons. Most Spikes is only flying types, levitate, etc. And the only reason you're using rocks in game is basically just to break focus sashes, because the only other time you're using that is if like their entire team is weak to rock or something. Then you could maybe throw up a layer, or sorry, not throw up a layer, throw up a Stealth Rock via Tutor for like a niche, Kahili maybe, like versus Kahili, sure. But it's just for focus sash Mons and like a couple other stuff that you might need, like a sturdy, weakness policy, agility, or rock polish, all that shit. Any sturdy mon, multi-scale, energy shield, which is just multi-scale equivalent, that kind of stuff you would use it for. But otherwise, it's not good. It's just there for flavor. So the only move you're really using from Ninkeda is maybe Infestation could be pretty good. Siphon is useless because you don't have any HP to recover. Struggle Bug is pretty good. Struggle Bug's great actually. Struggle Bug is great. Mudfling is decent for coverage. Screech is very good for totems and stuff. So that's the only thing I would consider from Ninkeda. Otherwise, you're just using your incredible coverage moves and utility moves and stab options and priority moves and setup moves. So yeah, awesome changes here. I really do love Shedinja. I think that's really about everything. There's a couple other things I could cover, but again, reward skill. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave it off there. So thank you so much for listening to this one. And thank you. Bye.